Politics, especially modern politics, is distinguished from all other fields in that relevant experience and hard-won expertise appear to be positive disadvantages when seeking employment. The same voters who would not trust their teeth to an enthusiastic amateur dentist, fly with an untrained pilot who just thought it might be fun to have a go at it, or rejoice if their preferred football club awarded the manager's job to some bellicose heckler out of the grandstand, seem happy time and again to elect to their highest offices posturing yahoos who have somehow managed to leverage their lack of qualifications as a virtue. Romanians voted on Sunday in the first round of their presidential election. The 5 top polling candidates, to reduce them to extremely pithy CVs, were a former general and prime minister, an MP who also leads a decent-sized opposition party, the current prime minister, a former television journalist turned serial reality TV contestant, a weirdo conspiracy theorist who has never held elected office. In what observers who appear not to have noticed the entire 21st century are calling a shock result, the 2 who won through to a second-round runoff on December 8th were Elena Lasconi, Romania's 2013 Celebrity MasterChef champion, and Călin Georgescu, the seething hyper-nationalist with a popular TikTok account.
Un popor sportiv este un popor sănătos.
A caveat at this point, as of this recording, 2 minor candidates have petitioned Romania's constitutional court to annul the whole thing, claiming that Georgescu's vote was fraudulently obtained. The Beaks will hear these arguments tomorrow. Before we plough on what the weekend's result means, we should probably acknowledge, though we for one current affairs explainer believe our point stands, that our summary of both candidates' lives and accomplishments has been arguably somewhat reductive. Elena Lasconi was also on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. OK, that's unfair as well. She was indeed a distinguished television news anchor and correspondent and has been a popular and effective mayor of Câmpulung, a town of about 25,000 people, and is presently president of the centre-rightish party, the Save Romania Union. But still.
Dragi apărători ai patriei, aflați în activitate.
And Călin Georgescu has done more with his time here than just fulminate in favour of Vladimir Putin, praise early 20th century Romanian fascists, condemn the 1989 overthrow of lunatic tyrant Nicolae Ceausescu as a sinister Western plot, and promote pretty much the full slate of quack views on health. Vaccines make you sick, viruses are bioweapons, chemotherapy makes cancer worse, though he has done a tedious amount of all of that. An agronomist by training, Georgescu has also done various stuff within the United Nations, an organisation which has never been able to claim a 100% record of excluding foil-hatted crackpots from its institutions. These are thinnish resumes for candidates for the office to which they both aspire. Nevertheless, one of them will shortly become president of a country of 19 million people, the EU's 12th largest economy, and a NATO ally which shares a border with Ukraine and oversees a chunk of the Black Sea. Romania's port of Constanta has been a vital hub for shipping military kit to Ukraine and enabling Ukraine to pay for said kit by transporting grain in the other direction. The swiftly expanding Mihail Kogălnicianu Air Base in that same vicinity is on track to become one of NATO's largest and most geographically significant such facilities. And Romania's presidency is not one of those entirely ceremonial head of state gigs largely restricted to cutting ribbons, shaking hands, and having one's picture taken beaming inanely at prize-winning agricultural produce. The holder of the office has a significant say in foreign policy in particular. Given Romania's location, this matters beyond Romania's borders. At which point, time to assess Romania's remaining options. A vote for Elena Lasconi is, on balance, a vote for business as usual, more or less. On matters such as Romania's commitment to the EU and to NATO, and Romania's support for Ukraine, she is at least as solid as incumbent President Klaus Iohannis, who is stepping down due to term limits. In a runoff against Georgescu, Lasconi may scoop up the votes cast in the first round for Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu, whose Social Democratic Party are topping opinion polls ahead of the parliamentary election occurring on December 1st. She may also benefit from hitherto indolent citizens being alarmed by their options. In the first round, barely half of eligible voters bothered. A vote for Georgescu, who was barely polling at all when campaigning started, didn't participate in TV debates and who has no political party behind him or even a campaign headquarters, is a vote to just kind of see what happens, a temptation which has proved recurrently and vexingly tempting to Western electorates in this century. Georgescu believes Ukraine should cut its losses and is in general vastly fonder of Vladimir Putin and Russia than he is of NATO or the EU. He has also promised a combination of enormous public spending and no tax increases, a rather easier thing to say when running an insurgent campaign than to do once elected. Even if Georgescu doesn't win, he has posed again the question of why outsider candidates peddling obviously absurd snake oil are able to make such an impact in modern democracies. Romania, in this regard, is hardly alone. For Monocle Radio, I'm Andrew Mueller.